Welcome to the G.N.A podcast, Games, Nerds, and Alcohol, where where I usually get drunk and talk about stuff. But this episode, I am not drinking because I don't know, it's late in the night, I'm getting old, I don't know what it is, but I just haven't been feeling so well. So, just to avoid me getting not well, are those words? Am I sure I haven't been drinking? I don't know. Maybe I have been drinking. I don't know where I'm going to call it, but I'm going to say I haven't been drinking. Anywho, welcome to the show tonight. I am just chilling out here. I'm actually playing a few games and just going to bullshit about some Subnautica. I've actually been playing that a bunch lately, and it's a great old game. I think it's worth talking about. I think G.N.A at one point in time told me about it. And I just cross it off as another survival game. And I still cross it off as another survival game. But it's a fun survival game. We've been playing 7 Days to Die as well in the Discord. We actually stood up a new server for 7 Days to Die. Because ironically, that was a game that we played a lot, just in general. I mean, that was back in the day where, Vintage, Shadow Fox, hell, I think even Blue Shark was playing it. So, just back in the day where people were still playing games. It was good stuff, fun stuff, had a great time. But, anywho, what were we talking about? What was I talking about? I don't know, what was I talking about? I don't remember anymore. Oh yeah, Subnautica. Well, actually, let's first go into what am I drinking? Well, absolutely nothing. I am drinking a big old glass of water because I want to be hydrated. That's it. That's all I got. I know it's super lame, isn't it? Games, Nerds, and Alcohol. It's a show about alcohol, and I'm not even drinking. But I can tell you what I had been drinking, and I still, every day, all day long, I will talk about this, and I will pimp it out. Misunderstood whiskey. It's ginger spice whiskey. If you have not tried it, please, for the love of God, go check it out. It is so yummy. I can't say enough good things about it. So go check it out. Really good. Really, really yummy. Super ginger flavor to it, but it's got the best way I can describe it. I hate describing it this way. Is kind of like, if you like Captain Morgan's spiced rum, it's got that kind of spice to it where it's got that really great spiciness, and just a lot of flavor. Like it kind of assaults the palate really hard. And it just mixes so well with so many things. So it's definitely go check it out. That's what I drank on the show last time. I was drinking Misunderstood whiskey and apple cider. And man, they mix well together. It really mixes well with everything. It mixes well with eggnog. If you're an eggnog fan, it definitely mixes well with eggnog. It has a great flavor there as well. But yeah, just check it out. Just go check it out if you get a chance because it's worth your time. At least I think it's worth your time. Anyway, Steady Games. Steady Games is where I talk about what I've been playing for the past whatever, or pontificate about where I am, or where I feel I am, or what I feel games are today, just basically whatever I feel. But I'm going to tell you about what I've been playing. And I have been playing a bunch of Destiny 2. Iron Banner's been out. I'm trying to get prepped up for the new content that's coming out soon. And yeah, there's just a lot to it. And I'm not super excited about having to prep up to just to feel valid when the first content drops, the first couple days of new content. I'm tripping over my words. My brain's just not working today. But I'm just trying to get some bounties set up, get my iron bounty set up, stock out some bounties so that when it does come time for me to go play, I've got, at least I've got, the bulk of it done, and I can just go have, hopefully feel a little bit more valid in the game right off the bat and not be so far behind. I've been playing so much catch up because I took some time off So now I'm really just trying to catch back up, and I don't know. So hopefully, I'll feel much better about it once once I actually lock stock and get ready to rock into it. But yeah, I've been playing Destiny 2. We also have, as I said, we have a 7 Days to Die server up, which is bitchin'. It's a really fun game. If you haven't played 7 Days to Die, Alpha 20 just came out. What does that mean to you? Doesn't mean a goddamn thing to you. But Alpha 20 just came out, so go pick up the fucking game and go play. It's good stuff. If you jump into our Discord, you'll actually check out and find that we have actually have a what's his face going, a Discord or a 7 Days to Die server. That's G.N.A. It's G.N.A. 7 Days to Drink, I think is what I named it. I know I'm lame, but hey, suck it. It's my server. I can do whatever I want. I'm actually going to be jumping on and playing a little bit of Subnautica while I play, because why the hell not? If I'm going to be talking about Subnautica, I might as well be playing it, right? Works out. So let's get into this. Subnautica, made by... Crap. It literally just flashed up on the screen, and I missed it. What the crap, Steve? What the crap, Cecil? Subnautica, made by Unknown Worlds Entertainment. I honestly don't know what else they made, but they do have an expansion to Subnautica. If you like Subnautica, if you've played it and you're like, oh man, this is awesome, go check out the expansion as well. The expansion is pretty boss. Anywho, so Subnautica is a survival game. And, as I said at the beginning, I just kind of wrote it off as another survivor game or survival game. But I got to admit, it definitely feels like it's more than just a survival game. I don't know, it's pretty fun. I mean, I guess most games that you like are fun. But this one has a unique level of funness to it. It gives you that sense of claustrophobia, which any good survival game does. It gives you that kind of immediate sense of, oh crap, I'm really on my own. And it does it well. Like, you start off, it doesn't, like 7 Days to Die or Rust or, even like Conan Exiles, all that crap. They all start off with they just drop you into a world and they give you nothing to kind of go along with it, to kind of give you any backstory or what's happening. In Subnautica, you start off literally on a ship that is crashing. There's fire all around you, and you jump into an escape pod and escape and splash down into water. And the first thing that you got to do is actually jump up out of your seat and grab a fire extinguisher and put everything out. So it starts off a lot different, in my opinion, than a lot of other survival games. It doesn't just jump you into, oh, this is the suck, and you then have to deal with the suck. It kind of eases you in a bit. And that ease in really does make it a little bit more, I don't know, accessible? I guess it feels more accessible at the beginning. You start off with nothing. You've got a fire extinguisher, and that's it. So the first thing you do is, of course, you get out of your ship or you go underneath it. But however you do, you get out, you end up exterior to your escape pod and look over and see, well, the ship that you were on crash landed into whatever, into the water. And you look around and you're expecting to see Kevin Costner show up on a boat because it's literally Waterworld. There is nothing, absolutely nothing around you. Just water, water, water. The old thing, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Well, that's how this game is. And you do have to micromanage your water and caloric intake. So it does give you an extended level of micromanagement that some survival games don't give you, some survival games do give you, but they're actually, It gives you that extra level of micromanagement that I guess it all depends on how you feel about it. I dug it. I enjoyed it. I like it. I like how they're going for it. I like where they're going with it. So I'm digging it. And it's the only big problem that I guess I do find with it is that you get thirsty and you get hungry very quickly in the game. But the day-night cycle is extended, so it's not like you're just arbitrarily getting hungry and it's super quick. It's taking into account that you are, that the day-night cycle is quicker. That it's going quicker, so you're getting hungrier. I don't know. Let's chat about that for a second. Let's pontificate about that. Yeah, I love that word. Blue, if you're listening, just eat a bag, because you know what? I like that word. It's a good word. It's a $10 word. But anywho, so let's talk about that whole, that whole survival aspect of it. I like games that have that level of micromanagement in it. The Long Dark, I really like The Long Dark. I won't play The Long Dark anymore because of the asshats of a developer and what they did with NVIDIA GeForce Now. I don't like their practice, so that I won't play the game anymore. Even though I've gotten it multiple places, and I've probably gotten it for free even more places. But there's that level of micromanagement where you've got to deal with food and water and thirst. It's just that I think Valheim nailed it the best. And I really like how Valheim did it, which was when you got thirsty, things took you longer to do. So it wasn't necessarily that, you died, which, I mean, in realistic terms, you would of course die if you ran out of food or ran out of water. But I like how Valheim did it, because Valheim just turned around and said, hey, here you go. You're just going to take longer to do stuff, or you're easier to kill because you haven't eaten. But then again, Subnautica came out well before Valheim, so I mean, I guess I can't knock them for that. Would I like to see an update if there's a way to mod it? I think I would mod it to make that thirst cycle a little bit more forgiving, because it's a pain in the ass. It really is. Having to constantly, like, you're spending so much time looking for food and water. So if there's anything that you're going to do, like if you're like, well, I love these survival games, but I'm going to mod the hell out of it. The first thing I would mod would be go mod the hell out of that. Like, mod your thirst and your hunger so that it doesn't necessarily take nearly as long to deal with. But taking that part aside, taking the hunger level aside from it, and that thirst mechanic, the game is just got a genuine aspect of exploration. And if you've ever listened to me, if you've ever heard me drone on about No Man's Sky, I love that exploration portion of games. It really scratches an itch for me. And Subnautica scratches that itch. It scratches a portion of that itch that really makes it, it makes it fun to look around. And it eases you into it. So you start off and you fabricate, or I think you've got like a small oxygen tank, or you've got no oxygen tank. I can't even remember, but you don't have much in the frame of you're spending a lot of time in the water. So you don't got a lot of time. But as you further look through stuff, you get a repair tool, you repair the escape pod that you're on, and you start working your way forward and start, you start unlocking more as you explore and as you experiment and stuff, you find more things. So it's really cool in that aspect, that exploration portion of it. And that exploration portion of it really is what keeps bringing me back to the game. In fact, probably when I'm done with the show, I'm going to continue playing because, well, it's fun. It's genuinely a fun game. I like exploring. I like looking around. And they didn't make the planet necessarily lifeless. So that's one thing that's a little annoying about No Man's Sky, is that it's procedurally generated. And in being procedurally generated, there's you can get a lot of worlds where there's not all that much there. It's not really an enjoyable it's not really an enjoyable exploration, because you're just really looking at the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's just slightly different. So there's, No Man's Sky has gotten better in the aspect of there is more to do. So there's more activities and more things to kind of figure out, or more things to look for. But it's really, No Man's Sky scratches another style of itch for me when it comes to exploration. But that's not what Subnautica. Subnautica. It really gives me a genuine, I'm searching around and I'm unfolding this world. And the world is pretty big to begin with. And of course it makes it gives you, well, not of course, unlike some other games, some other survival games where they really make you rely on, what's the best way to describe it? They make you rely on maybe not that reading's a bad thing, but just they make you rely on flavor text on items and picking up notes. And basically it's forcing a barren world on you, but not, it's a lot of games force a barren world on you. And they keep that barren, that aloneness by literally making you alone and making no actual contact. And all information you gather is, books left, notes left, or something along those lines. So it really makes it, really makes the world troubling and lifeless because, you don't have something to look for. But in Subnautica, they continuously, or at least the beginning part, they continuously have, your distress signal has reached out and asked for and called for help. So the cool part is your distress signal or your distress beacon is sending out and people are calling in saying, hey, we're coming to find you. And you then, I think you unlock how your ship got destroyed in the first place or how your ship got taken down because your ship just randomly crashed. But when you get in and find out and you start, you get a call and spoiler, but this isn't the really beginning parts of the game though. So, I mean, if you haven't gotten this far, this is really spoiling it, then sorry. But spoiler, you might want to turn it off for this few moments. There's, you find this alien kind of building, almost like an artifact. And when you find it, you're staring at it like, well, geez, what is this thing? And you're waiting for, a group of, a group of people to come find you. And, you're getting excited because you're like, oh man, I'm getting off this planet. And it kind of, like, I knew something was going to happen because there's no way that it would leave you at, hey, now you got off this planet type of thing. There was bound to be something else where, oh, it's going to make you go do this type of thing. Like, oh, something's going to happen. And of course something does. The alien ship that you observe all of a sudden, or not ship, building that you observe turns into a giant weapon and blows the ship out of the sky. Which if you think about it, your ship's flying along doing a flyby of this planet. And in following by and going by this planet, all of a sudden it gets a big old shot hit to it by this, whatever this defense system is. And, it gets taken down. Another aspect of the game is you start unlocking. So there's a whole lot to this game. And I've just scratched the surface on playing. I think I've just got the ultra density air tank unlocked or whatever. But there is so much to this game and it takes a survival mechanism and it extends it out to, you go from surviving to living. And if anybody who's amateur survivalist or a pro survivalist, I don't care, but anybody who's a survivalist or keeps up on that type of thing, knows of the difference between surviving and living. There's a transition period there, and it's actually really cool. Because as you transition from surviving to living, you go from living day to day and finding enough calories to keep you alive to literal to now I'm now I'm living here. Now I've got a house. Now I'm comfortable. I'm not surviving day to day. I'm actually living. It's an interesting concept, and I guess it's really hard for me to describe right now, and I don't know why it's so hard for me to describe right now. But the game really does have that transition and that's that kind of link over from surviving to living. There's a whole bunch of base building in it, and I've seen some really incredible bases, and I've seen some really crappy bases. But I mean, I guess it all depends on how you want to build it. I've also seen some of the more incredible bases I've seen are actually really Spartan. Like, they're almost like tiny home bases. I guess you just have to see them to describe it, but like they're really compact in design, but they have everything in there, and it doesn't seem like, have you ever seen those tiny homes? From the outside, it's like, oh my God, it's a 3x5 box. But then when you get inside, you're like, oh, it's actually kind of comfortable. This is actually pretty good. So this is maximum utilization of space, and it's pretty boss. So I really dig some of the bases, some of the smaller compact bases that are in it. Now, let's get on to the survival part. Now, we've already talked about that there is a level of survival where you've got to micromanage your oh my God, maybe I have been drinking, I just don't know it. Your food and water. There we go. God, I knew I'd get to it eventually. So we've already talked about how you have to micromanage your food and water. And there is a day and night cycle, which is pretty cool. And look, to be honest, the environment is a very pretty environment. And then when it turns nighttime and you see a whole bunch of bioluminescent fish and bioluminescent plants, it really, the whole world just pops. And there's a lot of different things that can kill you, which is really, really cool, because you start off and you're thinking to yourself, all right, well, I'm just going to I'm just going to run around with this and stuff. And then like there's this Leviathan or something pops out and like just wrecks your face, just absolutely wrecks your face. It's actually like there's a distinct level of horror in the game. And I don't think it's necessarily by design. I think it just naturally becomes a scary game, because you are like, if you ever scuba dived before, like wearing goggles, things can get very claustrophobic, and it almost gives that level of claustrophobia with when you're playing, because you've got a limited field of view. I mean, of course you can change your field of view to like 120 or something, but I mean that's artificial. It's not an actual field of view. But you've got a limited field of view, and you're swimming around at a very, at a swimming speed. And there are things that will just leap out and attack you and try to kill you. And it's really wild that, just as you play, and these things are just, I don't know. It's just the world comes to life in a very, very unique way that I think is really tough in a survival game. And that a majority of the game is underwater makes it even, that much creepier, because, now you're dealing with a whole slew of other avenues of other things that you got to deal with. So, like, it's really, really fun that you get so many of these things that jump out at you and try to kill you. And some of them will like just grab a hold of you and boom, you're wrecked. And there's other things that will just like nibble at your heels type of thing. And you're like, why the hell is this thing killing me? And playing, especially playing when it's nightfall in the game, is a genuine level of spookiness, because you can't quite see what's coming around. Now, you eventually get like a flashlight, which is cool. And you get other tools like scanning tools, which that's how you actually unlock. So, okay, base building. I kind of trailed off from there for a little bit. But you go to start off your base building. And while you're doing your base building, or how you start off your base building is the ship that you were on, well, blew up and crashed. And then it eventually gets a lot worse. And then when you go closer to it, you can actually start scanning some of the different pieces that came from the ship. And in the process of scanning the things that came from the ship, you unlock making new buildings or making new parts to a building. So it's really kind of awesome. And like you get a continuous, you continuously find stuff that allows you to make better parts or more parts to a base. So it's really cool. But anyways, where was I? I kind of got off track there. Base building. Oh yeah, things killing you. So you'll be running around, and of course you get a knife, and then you get different things that you can use to defend yourself with later, and different tools, repair tools. And I actually found out. So I actually was trying to, when I was first experimenting in the game or first exploring in the game, I was trying to figure out what the best way to explore would be. And the only thing I had was a fire extinguisher. So I got in the water and I said, well, geez, let me just use this fire extinguisher. So I literally used the fire extinguisher as a form of propulsion. So I could, I literally got in the water and then started using fire, and it worked. Like, in my mind, it should have worked. And in theory, it should have worked. And in practice, it worked. And it's really cool because I launched myself. I forget how I got super close to, the ship. And when I got there, I was like, all right, cool, found the ship. Well, I used all my juice to get there. I never really contemplated how I was going to get back. So there I am. I find out very quickly that the ship is radioactive and I'm absorbing rads like crazy. So that kind of struck me as a whoopsie. Later on, you of course get ways that you can travel around better and not take on damage from things like that. But, at the time I was just being very new to the game and very rambunctious of like, well, let me go check this out. Let me see what I can do here. But yeah, there's little things like that if you kind of think outside the box, you can, really make some things happen and make it work. So it's really cool in that aspect. So as you progress in the game, the story unfolds, and I'm going to try. I'm not going to give away a whole bunch of story because I hate it when people give away story on me. So I'm not going to do it to you. But there is a cool portion where, I've already told you that another ship tries to get you and gets blown up. But you end up looking for different ways of trying to, just trying to survive and then transition from survive to living. And in that process, so in that process, you end up getting a whole lot of story that goes along with it. And so far, what I figured out is you're on the planet, you get infected with whatever is on this planet, and it means that you can't disable this huge weapon, so you can't get off the planet, which ends up being a bit of a pain in the ass because, well, you don't want to be on this planet, but you're stuck on this planet. I'm kind of trailing off here. Honestly, I keep pausing because I'm trying to find something in here. So it's really fun because as you start going through, you start being able to dive deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And the farther you go down, of course, the less oxygen you have. So one of the things that I liked about it is that, so during scuba diving, as you go down further and further underwater, the air that you have compresses. So it takes up, basically, think of it like, best way to think about it. Think of it like a group of people in the middle of summer. Okay. Imagine them being stark naked and just standing there in a group. Well, that group is then all of a sudden, let's say it gets cold. Well, all of a sudden, those people who are standing farther apart, all of a sudden start standing closer together. It's kind of like what air does. When you go farther and farther down, it's, I guess, the best lack of a better term, it's getting colder, so it's getting closer together. But really, that's not what's happening. It's not getting colder. It's compressing down, and the molecules are getting closer and closer together. So every time you take a breath of air, you're taking more of the air that you had in one breath. So instead of taking, a cup of air, let's say. So let's say you normally breathe a cup of air. Well, when the air becomes compressed, you are still breathing that same cup of air. But since the air is compressed, there's more air in that cup. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so it's trying to describe it is a little bit difficult. But anyhow, so that's one of the things that I like about the game is that the air actually lasts you less time. So it gives you a little counter. You have 30 seconds of air. Well, if you go down past 100 meters in the game, which I think it's 100 meters. But anyways, if you go down past 100 meters in the game, it says that your air is going to last less time, which logically is what happens. Your air doesn't last nearly as long down the farther you go, which is a disadvantage of scuba diving. When you scuba dive down really low, the one tank of air that you have doesn't last. 100 cc's of air won't last you, I think it lasts you like 30 minutes at 60 foot or 90 foot. Yeah. Well, if it lasts you so if it lasts you an hour, on the surface, it will last you 30 minutes at, I think, 33 feet and then 15 minutes at 90 feet. If I'm getting my math right. Okay, don't trust me on that. Look that up. But anyways, I don't even know why I'm getting off on this tangent of scuba diving. Other than the game actually has a great aspect in it of when you dive farther and farther down, your air takes up or lasts less time, which is a great little realistic feature. Now in the game, it becomes a huge pain in the ass because when you want to go down and explore caves or something, your air doesn't last nearly as long when you start diving. So as you start diving down, your air doesn't last nearly as long. You get stuck in a cave and you're like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here or I've got to turn around and get out of here. But your air doesn't nearly last as long. So you go down in and then you get stuck and then you end up drowning. Fun part is that just like in real life, you can carry multiple tanks on you. Now in real life, you just have multiple tanks, attached to the same air or same circuit, and you're just breathing it all, and you just look at how much pressure you have, and eventually your pressure goes down to, whatever, and you leave because you know how much pressure you have. But in Subnautica, you can just have an extra tank sitting in your inventory, and then when you're running out of air in your current tank, you just select and equip the other tank, and then you now have your air back. So it's really handy that way. You can also get a rebreather in Subnautica. I haven't unlocked that. Well, I've unlocked the ability to build it. I haven't built it yet. And a rebreather is just exactly what it sounds like. It takes the air that you breathe out and it recycles it and makes it so that's air you can breathe again. Fun fact about rebreathers, though. It's a lot different than breathing compressed air. The big difference about it is that you're breathing in warmer air, or sometimes even warm air, because it's your hot breath that comes out and it recycles that hot breath into air that you then breathe in. So it's a little disconcerting. If you ever actually are thinking about, hey, that rebreather thing sounds cool, just be prepared for that, because that's not something that anybody ever told me right away. And it was just something that kind of like, oh, hey, look at that. That's crazy. So yes, you can get a rebreather in the game. And there's a lot of little fun, realistic things in it that make the game that little bit more believable. Like more immersive. That's what I was looking for. It's more immersive. And I really I'm a huge fan of immersion in video games, because you play video games to escape your life or whatever. And if you can really immerse yourself in it and really feel like you're in that world, it just makes it that much funner, I guess, to me. To play. But those little extra immersion touches, it's those finer details. What do they say? The devil's in the details. It's in those finer little details that really make the game strive. It really makes it stand out. It lets you kind of dive in, and it's unique when a game can kind of suck you in and time just starts to fly by. I've been playing video games a long, long time, and I'm going to be perfectly honest. Games don't do that to me anymore. They just, it takes a very, very unique game to even close to glimpse of me like losing time. But Subnautica is one of those games, and it's been a long time since I played a game that really will make my time just disappear. And Subnautica is 100% one of those games. The first time that I started playing it, which was a long time after it came out, because it came out, when did this game come out? Hold on. Now I gotta look that up. When was its release? 2014. 2014. So this game is, no spring chicken. It's been out for a while. And that it holds up. I mean, it still looks beautiful even to this day, which is amazing for a game. 7 Days to Die has been out, I want to say maybe as long, and it doesn't look great. I mean, it looks good, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look great. But Subnautica really does look great. The art style really holds up. It's cartoonish. It kind of, I don't say Borderlands-esque, because Borderlands uses a lot of cell shading, and it relies heavily on shadows and cell shading. And this game does rely on cell shading a little bit, and that's what gives it that cartoony feel, but I don't know, it looks good. It looks and feels good. Just, when I say feel, the visual feel of it. So, yeah. Where was I going? Oh, God, I gotta get off on these tangents. It's a lot easier when you're talking to somebody, just, talk with them. And kind of bounce things off of them, and then things feel just a lot better. But I'm alone tonight, so it's kind of hard. Maybe I should just not be playing. Maybe that's it. Maybe I should just stop playing the game. Because I just can't seem to hold my attention or hold my thought process of what I'm trying to say. All right, what have we gone over? We've gone over the survival aspect of it, how pretty it is. I think I've said that a bunch of times. A brief overview of some story on it, which there's a lot more to the story. I just have not touched it. We've gone over the survival to live aspect of it. What else? What else is there to talk about of Subnautica? Oh, vehicles. Oh, crap. I forgot vehicles. Yeah. So as you play the game, you get, you of course unlock how to build other, buildings. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. My brain is just not functioning the way it should be. But you learn how to build other buildings, but as you go and scan around, you also learn how to build vehicles. And you can build everything from small personal propulsion devices all the way up to full-on like submersibles, like small submersibles to larger submersibles. It's really cool. It's really unique. It's not the first game to have vehicles in it, of course. But that it has vehicles in it and allows you to build them, drive around in them, it really gives another like aspect for exploration that really makes it genuinely fun, genuinely entertaining to play. Now, Below Zero has come out, or came out. I want to say it came out in the last couple of years. But Below Zero came out, and I have yet to play it. I do own it. I just have yet to play it, and it's an expansion onto the original. So I want to see, well, I guess I got to get through the original first. I got to get through whatever storyline that is there. And as I said, it the game gives you that sense of isolation, but it doesn't give you that sense of isolation by putting you in a barren situation. You get distress signals. You get distress signals from other escape pods even. And you've got to go investigate and figure out what's going on. And of course, I mean, just like you expect, everything kind of doesn't go your way. You know, there's no survival situation where you're like, oh man, things are going good. I'm feeling great. No, you end up having to work for it, just like always. But that's where you get lost. That's where you just kind of get lost in the game and lost in the environment and atmosphere of it. It feels great. It just feels real good. And you can lose so much time on it. And I think I'm a broken record. You know what? I'm going to end it here, and I am going to just continue playing because, yeah, this game deserves to be played and less talked about and more played. More play, less talky. So, hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Reviews help people find the show. So, if you enjoy listening to us, let other people know. Let them find out. You can find the blah, 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 blah. You can find this show on Google Play Music, Podcast Addict, Player FM, Spreaker, Your Listen, MyTuner, iHeartRadio, Spotify, so many other places. If you can't find us, well, you're not looking real hard. That's for damn sure. But I'm just joking. But if you can't find us, let us know. We'll upload there. More than happy to. We have a website, www.G.N.A.podcast.com. Currently, it's not got all that much on there. Kind of looks like a high school student's project, but we're getting there. You know, we got it set up for free, and I'm not a web developer, but hopefully in the next 6 to 8 months, we can find a web developer, throw some funds at it, make it look good. But that's what we're shooting for. But check it out. Let us know. If you have any questions, comments, death threats, we don't care. Email us, GNApodcast@GNAandyourdNA.1. What have I missed? Oh, crap, where you can find me. My name's Cecil Xavier, your host. You can find me on Cecil vs. Games, on Twitter, Cecil Xavier, everywhere else. Ustream, MyTuner, or no, not MyTuner. Well, actually, yeah, you can find me at Cecil Xavier on MyTuner because I have an account there. But Twitch, Ustream, I don't know, Grindr, Tinder, Bumble, iHeartCupid, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. You can find me wherever. I'm all over the place. Discord. I'm in everybody's Discord. If I'm not in Discord, let me know. I'll upload there. Just a heads up, I am a troll and I shit talk so much. That's why I do not have XP built on my own Discord, because I would just wreck everybody and they would be so pissed. So I let everybody else do it. But yeah, if you want to be on the show, if you're tired of listening to me just rattle on all by my lonesome, don't fret. Come right on. We're more than happy to have you on. We're always very cool about having anybody and everybody on. So just message me. Email me, whatever, jump on our Discord and jump on the show. You don't have to have any podcasting experience or podcasting, really anything. You just gotta want to hang out, really, drink and bullshit. So, there you go. Have a great night, all.